Yeah. You like this, don't you, Nagatoro fans? Don't you?
You're making me
like
uncomfortable, Xell. Stop. I feel like it's like the phantom pain.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Xell.
I'm Crim, also known as the Asian Avenger.
And we're the Nii-San
podcast. I think we did that, right? We did it right?
That was...
Editor?
Okay, Don, help us out. Okay, look, internet lag is a thing. It's kind of hard to put it together. All right, okay, anyways, what's up, guys? This is our second episode. And
Episode 2.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about the new season, because I think we spent last episode mostly talking about the last season and kind of our final impressions of the last season. And so this time around, we're going to talk about the present and the near future. And this season's kind of interesting for me because we just came off probably one of the most stacked seasons of anime in recent history. And so this season has a lot to live up to, right? Like last season had Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, had Wonder Egg Priority, Horimiya, like so many great shows. And I think people are like kind of pessimistic about this episode, about the season, but I don't know. I mean, there's some interesting stuff, so I guess we'll go over it. But I guess first we will go over a couple of news things that happened this week. So one of the things that was really big in the anime universe was that Attack on Titan's manga has officially ended, and the fans are mauling. Like everybody is so mad about it. I'm an anime only guy. I have no idea what everyone's mad about, but it's very funny to me because everybody on Twitter was kind of like just like harumphing around, and they're like, oh god, Attack on Titan ending worse than Game of Thrones, worse than Darling in the Franxx, you know, like all these comparisons. And I'm sitting there like, you know, that dog in the middle of the fire, and like he's like, yeah, this is fine, I guess.
This
I don't
is
know.
fine.
I've been having a great time in the anime. I don't know. So what are your thoughts on that?
I look, this is the great thing about having something like, whereas, you know, a bunch of people who just watch the anime, they can change this, right? They can kind of retcon or whatever. They can kind of like do things that maybe they don't agree with from the manga. And I mean, whether or not that often happens, look, anime, manga, doesn't matter. Endings have not been great.
Not the
for
strong
quite
suit.
some time.
Not the strong suit. Well, okay, so let's think back to a couple of examples where, like, I'm trying to think what could happen, right? The manga people are upset about. So in my mind, a couple possibilities are in front of us. One, people are overly angry about it, which does happen and is actually probably fine. And, you know, we'll get to the anime and it'll be just like the manga ending, and I'm going to be like, okay, it's fine. Now, the other thing that I'm more scared of is that there's going to be like a repeat of The Promised Neverland season 2, where it's like, okay, yeah, the manga readers were mauling and they were well justified, and they did even worse than the manga did for itself, right? Like there's that possibility, and I'm scared about that possibility because like I loved a lot of Attack on Titan so far. So if that's the case, I'm gonna be really sad. And then there's the third, very optimistic side, which is I'm like imagining rainbows and unicorns, where somehow they take just the worst ending possible and they, you know, mangle it up into some beautiful Frankenstein in which that the anime is actually really good. So I actually can't think of an example of something like that.
I haven't thought of an anime that ended really like in a way where they actually capitalized on that, which I feel like they should, right? I mean, when you have you could have the manga, you could totally change its ending compared to the anime, but oftentimes they try to stick to the source material. Yeah. And this is one of the few times where like maybe we don't do that entirely, like how it goes down.
Because I was thinking like Brotherhood, you know, Full Metal Alchemist. The problem was that they didn't have the source material, and so they created their own, and their own version sucked, which was the original Full Metal Alchemist, and then they revamped it with the actual source material, and then they got Brotherhood, which was way better. But then I'm kind of like, that's still not the same thing here, because it wasn't changing the source material, it was just following along with it, and the source material is good. So now if people are saying the source material is bad, then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. And so I don't know. I hope, as somebody who likes the anime, I know, Crim, you feel differently about this, but like I hope that it ends up being good. So I don't know.
I mean, I hope that the anime also ends well, right? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just said I don't like season 2. Okay, I just said I don't like season 2, so I gotta just start at season 3, and I'm kind of dragging my feet along the way. But the thing here is, I think that if they do this and they capitalize on it, apparently it's so bad the bar can't be that high, right? So why not
there
shoot
you
your
go.
shot, right?
Okay, and so that's Attack on Titan. I felt like it was worth mentioning. Even though it's a manga thing, it's obviously closely tied to the anime community. And then the other thing that was kind of interesting was a pretty popular band, Ali. Their drummer was caught with bank fraud, and so that actually impacted The World Ends With You, which is a show that's supposed to air this season, and they're going to change the opening because of that. And I was just kind of like, whoa, what the heck? Because originally when the story broke, people were just saying for like some unspecified crime. So a lot of people were thinking, it's Japan. Maybe he got caught with like a little bit of weed or something, right? And like Japan, freaks out about weed. So that's what I was expecting. But then it was like bank fraud. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. This guy.
Yeah. that's see, like I didn't know about that because I didn't really know it was getting an anime. The World Ends With You I know of is apparently it's a game on Switch.
Yeah, and the original, which was on 3DS. So,
never played it. So yeah.
But I guess that's a pretty good segue into the stuff we will get to the meat of, which is this season. First and foremost, the thing that's probably the biggest of the season is that My Hero Academia is back with its 5th season, and it's kind of weird because My Hero Academia I felt was like so good in the beginning, and 4th season didn't really do it for me. And so I'm hoping that this 5th season is going to be like back to its original great self.
I mean, did you not like the way it started? Because I myself also didn't like season 4, right? In that the way it started, but I felt like as it progressed, it got a lot better. I think it closed it had a very strong closing. So
I was just gonna say, like, there were some moments that were like really good, right, in 4th season, but I if I look at it like holistically compared to the other seasons, I felt like 4th season was like quite a bit worse than the other seasons. Like there was like the I forgot his name now. The ridiculous guy with his little tiny girl sidekick. I forgot his name. Gentleman mustache guy. And then
something gentleman.
Yeah.
It's something gentleman. I know that.
His arc was kind of weird, and I couldn't like take it very seriously, and it just felt like a filler arc. And then we get Overhaul as a main villain, and even Overhaul wasn't that cool to me. I don't know. He like his story kind of all got culminated in his last episode, and it didn't really pay off the way I wanted to. But 4th season did have some pretty awesome pop-off moments, like the Red Riot episode was amazing. The Prominence Burn episode with Todoroki's dad was super sweet. And we got to get really intimate with oh my god, what's the guy who can like phase through things? I forgot his name now. But he was awesome too, and I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like really sad about what happened to him. And yeah, I mean that's just it. I like My Hero Academia. I think has a lot to live up to, especially considering that it's coming after Jujutsu Kaisen, which I think has been like the latest like and greatest for shonen. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the source material is like, but I'm excited for 5th season.
Like I've definitely got a lot of hype going for 5th season just because of how strong of a closer season 4 was. I think season 4 for me started off so slow, and I wasn't huge on it, and then I was like, wait, please don't suck, because I don't want this to suck. And I think it wasn't until about halfway through it finally found what it wanted to do. It felt like the first 9 episodes was like a little bit of a filler, and then they finally figured out what they wanted to do. So the closing definitely has me excited for this new season.
All right. So yeah, I think we're both going to be watching that one.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Next, we have Nagatoro-san. This one's interesting. the summary, I would say, is basically about this girl who relentlessly bullies this very shy guy who can't tell her no. And people are excited about this one, and I like, just from reading the synopsis and stuff, I'm just like, isn't this just like bullying the show? I guess that's people's fetish, right? Like, people like the whole step on me senpai sort of, I guess, dynamic. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not trying to fetish shame people here, but that's kind of what this feels like, and I guess, I don't know.
I do feel like I share that same resentment in that it is just bullying.anime. And the concern is, like, like if we were to, like, obviously swap the roles here, this is, like, obviously a concern. So I think it has to be the same the other way, right? So I don't know. I mean, it also just hasn't looked that impressive to me from the trailer. Like, it's something I would watch maybe at the very end of the season when I've actually watched every single other anime.
Yeah. So like, some of the manga readers have been saying, like, oh, it's cute and it gets somewhere more interesting, which is fine. It's just, I'm coming into it blind, right? Again, anime only guy. And I look at the trailer and it's just like, the girl just wants to twist the dude's nipples, like, all the time, and that's like the show. It's I want to twist your nipples, little boy. The anime. I just kind of like, I guess not my cup of tea, but sure.
I don't know if I can handle 12 episodes of just purple nurples, I think is it called, right?
Yeah. The thing is, like, I'm really biased against, like, the shy guy, and this actually goes for both role, like, both for the guy role and the girl role. I hate the shy, like, I can't stand up for myself. I'm just a doormat as a human being. Yeah. And, like, that character stereotype has always bugged me, and this one now is, like, it's that, but to an extreme. I haven't watched it yet. Like, maybe I'll give it a shot. It's very popular, though. I know that Nagatoro, like, the manga readers were very excited about this one, and I know that the anime is pretty popular as well. So I don't know. I'll give it a shot for you Nagatoro lovers, but I'm also silently judging each and one of it, all you guys. And maybe you like
hold your
me.
Nipples.
Yeah. You like this, don't you, Nagatoro fans? Don't you?
You're making me uncomfortable, Xell. Stop. I feel like it's like the phantom pain, dude. It's like the phantom pain, man.
Yeah, so someone just got off to that and it makes me uncomfortable. All right, next episode, next anime we're going to talk about.
Editing that out.
Okay, this next one is also one that I think, I don't know if the source material is originally manga or light novel, but it's called "I Shaved, Then I Brought a High School Girl Home." So this is
this title is
again questionable anime. Maybe this is the season of questionable anime, because the synopsis is essentially, this guy is having a heartbeat from work. He shaves and he gets drunk, and on his way home, he meets a high school girl who is homeless, and she wants to like have a place to stay for the night in exchange for his sexual favors. And already, I just gotta say, warning flags all over this. Like, okay, how many times do we have to do this whole, like, businessman plus, like, lucky encounter with a high school girl thing? It's weird. Apparently, again, I have to keep doing this, like, apparently thing, because the manga readers swear that it's really wholesome and it's more about the guy being, like, a mentor figure for the girl. However, I like, the whole setup for this thing just is like, look, man, we literally are going through a pedophilia thing with one of our congressmen. Like, it's just like a hot topic right now, how, like, pedophilia is all over the place. Do we need an anime where, like, it kind of, it's not pedophilia, but, like, it's definitely, like, it's getting close, It's
skirting around it, and like, I'll be honest with you, I think this is just one of those things where it probably just doesn't need to be made. You could probably read it. I don't think I'm gonna tune into this one. This is gonna be one of the ones that is just not on my list. However, like Nagatoro, I'll watch that, right? Like, I'll watch that one, just see what it's all about. But, like, this one, I've seen it a lot. I've seen it before. even if it somehow gets wholesome, how is it any different or more entertaining and worth like? There's so many this season for me to watch, so something's got to go, and I can't watch all of these. So this is gonna probably be one of the first ones for me to throw out, and you know, maybe it is wholesome, but I just can't imagine, you know, this being better than the stuff before it that already exists. You know what I mean? It's just like,
If someone convinces me in the comments, like maybe I'll give it a chance, but it just makes me feel a little weird. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Which is kind of like Nagatoro-san. I just don't know why you guys like getting your nipples twisted so much. I don't know, but I'm not going to question it. Okay.
Now, I won't say that like I don't watch, you know, the fan servicey animes, because I watch these. So this next one that we're talking about, this is one that I definitely watched first season for.
Yeah, let's continue. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want me to lead this one?
What's the name of this great anime that got a second season?
It's this top tier, life changing anime. How not to summon a demon lord. Look,
yes.
It is trash. I know. Look, okay, I know it's trash, but I don't know why I watch it. It's entertaining. It's just like, oh, sure, I'll watch this. It's not. It doesn't give me the creepy vibes. It's just more of like.
It knows what it is. It knows what it is.
It's not trying to be anything else other than like, yo, this is fan service show, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever, sure, okay. This is not the high, like the one I am looking forward to the most this season, but this is going to be the one that's perfectly in my mid-tier level of hype, because I just watched the first season. Not much really changes through the first season, and I can't imagine much changing in this season for at least story-wise. So I'm just going to watch it to watch it. Yeah. I'm sure we all know what it is, right? Like this, I'm not here to lie to you about it.
It's tagged as an ecchi anime. That is what it is. And you know, because we just got off of talking to anime that has like more questionable material, I just want to say it has nothing to do with like I'm a prude or like I only watch Jesus sanctioned anime or anything like that. It's not
Christian
like that.
Minecraft servered animes.
Yeah. No, the thing is that I just like it when the show acknowledges that it is that thing, and you know what? Okay. Anyways, just wanted to get on my soapbox really quick. I didn't watch the first season. I heard actually the show's very funny. So.
It's funny, it's dumb, but like it's low hanging fruit kind of humor, and I like whatever, you know. That's why I agree it's trash, but I'll watch it. Like, kind of.
You're definitely watching it for the plot. Let's
I mean, yes, there's a lot of science in this for me to watch. Science, plot, whatever you want to call it.
Y equals mx plus b. All right, so
sort of checks out, I think, if I force it.
This next anime is a blast from the past, Shaman King. Now, in the last episode, we talked about how like our anime origin stories, and I talked about how I grew up reading manga in like the manga section of Borders. This was actually one of those manga. Shaman King was literally one of those things that I read back in that day, and I was really upset when. Because like I think Shaman King went through a hiatus towards the end, and it just kind of dropped off, and I was like, where did it go? And what's cool is like there was an anime originally for Shaman King, but now they're revamping it, and it looks really nice. Like at least the preview that I watched looked really cool. The only problem is this show's locked behind Netflix, so unless you're sailing the high seas, it'll be a little bit before we can actually watch it.
I didn't like the original Shaman King as a kid, so I've got like no hype on this. I think for me, this is just, it looks kind of cool. Like it looks very well animated, but this is just kind of low on my list just because I didn't like the source material to begin with when I read it as a kid. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even remember if it was actually good or not. You know, as a kid, I was just kind of like, cool samurai, spirit guy, and magic powers, and I was like, yeah, I'm sold. I'm 10 years old. What do you want?
But even like 10-year-old me was like, but
all right, 10-year-old Crim was super
sophisticated and
drinking wine for some reason.
10-year-old wine, whatever that is,
at the precious age of 10. Yeah,
I feel like the pacing of the like it's legitimately though for me it's just like visually, right? Like when I looked at it as a kid, the design of every character just also wasn't like captivating. It wasn't like how I saw Hiei and Yusuke Urameshi, and they clicked, like they visually clicked to me. Even Kuwabara was cooler, you know what I mean, than a good amount of the characters. Hair. Yo, look, the pomp and all of that, the drill, whatever you want to call it, he had pretty much just like really crappy sword, right? But like,
yeah, like actually,
he was cooler,
he got the short
right?
end of the stick, literally, effort powers.
Yeah, he actually just got the stick. But the thing here is he was still awesome. And the designs of like, Dragon Ball characters and, for all the Tokyo Pop stuff, all the Shonen Jump stuff, there was just cooler character design. Not even talking about pacing of what it became and all of that. Just that's what I cared about as a kid. Did it look cool? Did the moves look, badass? And none of it really did to me. So
yeah, I mean, as a kid, I thought Shaman King had its charm, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, it'll be a while before any of us can like legally watch it. So we'll see what happens because like I said, I don't even remember the source material. So it might be garbage. I don't know. This next one is another one that I think a lot of people are excited about because of the source material. To Your Eternity. The Japanese name is Fumetsu no Anate, and this one I don't know anything about, but when I mentioned it to my girlfriend, she was like, this one's gonna hurt. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I watched the preview and I was like, oh God, no, this is gonna be one of those things where the dog dies and I'm gonna be really sad about it. Like that is like, I literally have no idea what this show is about, but this one looks like probably one of the bangers of the season.
I will let you in on a little secret. I have seen this.
Oh.
And I will not go in with it because I think I want to go in depth of all the shows next week once there's enough material to like talk about, right? Fully and get a good view of it. But from episode 1, right off the bat, I'm not going to hype it up, but I will tell you that it hit me here.
Oh God damn.
It hit. Let's just go with that.
Episode 1?
Episode 1, I can say I'll give you all a little bit of a sneak peek, I guess, of next week's content, but episode 1, this show starts off swinging. So,
okay, well, there you have it. I haven't watched the first episode yet. It just came out today. I'm excited. Super excited.
Yeah, we'll see if you're still excited next week.
It's so good.
It's so good. But it gets real and it gets real fast. Okay. So,
all right. Well, there you have it.
I mean, for those that are at home, by the way, I think you probably have a quick synopsis of it, right, already. But like, yeah, it's got a dog, so let's go with that. And it came from another world. No one knows how it got here.
Yeah, I again, even reading the synopsis, I didn't really get a good understanding of what it's going to be like. But it feels like magical Marley and me, and that was really sad. So I assume this is really sad. I don't know. I don't know what to expect,
Madoka
but that's
Marley.
what I'm expecting.
That's the new name. It's Madoka Marley.
Madoka Marley. Let's see. Next show is the slice of life version of I got reincarnated as a slime. The English name, I guess, is officially the Slime Diaries. And yeah, I don't know. So the thing is, like, I love the characters. I love the slime, the show. So getting them in a slice of life thing appeals to me. I know, like, not everybody's into slice of life, and maybe not a lot of people care about the characters. But I thought one of the reasons why I liked Slime as a show, even though it's like another isekai, is that I like the characters a lot. So I'm definitely going to give this one a shot. I've actually watched the first episode now, and honestly, it wasn't particularly that exciting, but it was fun. So I'm like medium on this one in general.
I feel like these just were like, I also saw the first episode, and it just feels like a bunch of like B-side episodes that didn't make it into the main season.
Yeah, this one,
it's just, I don't know. It's if you, I love Slime. Like, I love Slime, but I want the main story of Slime. I think these side stories, this is where all the filler episodes are, right? Yeah. Like, that's the stuff we could cut out.
Yeah, this is going to be the filler arc of Slime for this season. So like maybe they can make something that feels really fun and exciting here, but we'll see. I don't know. What to say.
Like, cause it's not even like one full cohesive episode, right? It seems like a bunch of shorts just kind of stitched together, and it's like,
yeah,
okay, here you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe next episode it'll have a little more direction. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it, I think, for Slime Diaries. The next one, I know you've watched the first episode.
Yeah.
I've not watched it. Tokyo Revengers. I watched the trailer. The trailers are awful. They don't tell me anything. It's like literally all these guys who are just turning to camera. They're like,
Okay.
I'm angry. And then another guy is like, yes, I am angry. And then like, I'm a gangster guy. And I was like, okay, I don't understand what's happening.
The trailer is really bad. I think that whoever made this trailer does not give you a good idea of what the show is. This is one of those ones where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to watch it anyways. I'm going to go out on a limb. I saw it, and it's a lot better than the trailer. It's a lot better than the trailer. So for those that don't know, I mean, I'm going to give you a quick little wrap on like what it's about, and it's just legitimately it's a time travel that it's like a time travel show. And I'll just go with maybe at this point you'll probably have seen it. If you've wanted to watch it, character dies, but right before he dies, he goes back to a point in his life, a key point in his life, like in his younger days. And when he was like a hooligan, and he's just like at this point in his life, he's just done nothing with it. And it's almost like an isekai, but it really just feels like a time travel right now because of things. And you'll see why it's time travel. Gotcha. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but I will say the show is a lot better than the trailer makes it out to be. And I would say this is a solid like B tier. This is like my Spider of this season.
Gotcha. Because I know people did say, again, source material people were like, this one might actually be good. So, but then I watched the trailer and I was like, what am I watching?
Trailer's bad. The trailer is really bad. I actually don't know how that trailer got out of the cutting room, like, to be honest with you, because it's pretty bad. It does not tell you anything.
And worse yet, it's like, it makes me not want to watch the show.
Yeah. So. Which is kind of the opposite of what a trailer should do. Yeah. So yeah, definitely if you're watching this, please don't watch. Just skip the trailer. Don't even watch. Just put the episode on. Promise you'll like it.
Next show is Fruits Basket getting its final season. I'm still catching up on this one, so I'm not going to be watching this concurrently this season. However, Fruits Basket is a great drama anime. And for people who don't know, Fruits Basket is an old-time manga, and there was an anime that was very popular back in the day as well, and this is like a revamp of that, and it takes a kind of a different tone than the older one. What's interesting is that the original artist for the manga said that they enjoyed this version of it even more because the old anime has a more lighthearted tone throughout the whole thing, whereas this time around, Fruits Basket really kind of hits deep and heavy. And
I mean,
yeah.
If somewhere on here you bring up just like the poster of this season, like it's just dark. It looks nothing like the previous seasons.
Yeah, it looks heavy.
Right. It almost feels like it's a battle shonen. like, you know what I mean? But I think the best thing about just this whole redo of Fruits Basket since the original is how much closer it follows the manga. I remember actually reading the manga. This was back when I did read manga. So, this season has followed so much closer, or this iteration of it. And that is why I think that the artist probably liked it, because also it keeps the darker tones. Like, it is playful. It's what you love, with Toru and all of that, but it's much darker than the original run.
Yeah. The way I've heard it is basically it's Fruits Basket Brotherhood.
Yeah, Fruits Basket Brotherhood is, okay, that works. That works. We've got Madoka Marley, Fruits Basket Brotherhood. We've just got all the titles.
And then Purple Nurple, the show. Yeah. We've got some great titles this season.
Purple Nurple.wav, just like .wave.
Yeah, okay, so this next one is by A1 Pictures 86. Okay, so the synopsis is interesting. Basically, this is future war scenario, and nobody fights wars with like people. They use drones, and people fight with drones. Except there's some crazy subdivision where it sends kids out instead of drones, and that's the synopsis. I tried to sit through the first episode, and it didn't really catch me. Not gonna lie, people told me that maybe this was gonna be good, but so far, I'm not super invested.
After an episode of this, I would say so far right now, it's currently boring. I'll keep my eye on it because things like this, I feel like they're trying to just build, right? They're really trying to build. And so I'm not going to write it off yet. I'll give it like 4 or 5 episodes, right? We'll see if my opinion changes by the episodes of our podcast, because, we'll have more. But right now, episode 1 doesn't, just much like what Xell had mentioned, it just does not do a good job of hooking you.
Yeah.
These droid, like it looks good, but A1 always looks good, right? That has never been an issue for A1. So I think this is going to be something I'll keep an eye on, but it needs to do something, or else I'm probably not going to finish this. Like, something needs to happen by episode 4. Anything at this point.
Gotcha. Okay, let's see. Next one, I have nothing on this one. Sentoin Haken Shimasu.
Yeah, this just is one of those ones where I watch the trailer and I just don't see anything really entertaining. It just looks like a generic middle of the pack, maybe even lower, just the filler anime of the season. Like, there's nothing about it. The characters don't seem that interesting to me. The story, the premise of it is just,
I believe that the source material comes from the same writer as Konosuba or something. It was something like that, or like I forget. So I remember when I was talking about this with somebody, they were saying that something about Konosuba, I don't actually know if that's true,
dude.
but there's some comparison there.
No, I've also heard that this is written by the same dude, and maybe right now I'm being really hard on it, and I'll watch it and I'll fall in love with it or something like that. But the thing here is, just right now, from what I've seen, I'd rather watch 8-6, and
and also, I loved Konosuba, but this one for some reason didn't hook me the same way when I watched the preview. So if someone says that it's really funny and I should watch it, like, I'll probably give it a chance. The next show, okay, this one I'm actually very excited about. This one, let's see, what's the English title? Because the Japanese title is
very long. I wrote this one down. Okay. It is, the English title is "I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level."
Okay, yeah, okay.
All of that.
We'll call it Slime 300 just for short. Separated from the Slime Diaries, Slime 300. But yeah, as the title says, basically it's about this overworked Japanese lady who dies from overwork, and in her new isekai life. By the way, that setup is so Japanese that it kind of hurts. It's like
it's pretty accurate in a way, so it's scary.
Yeah, it hits a little close to home there. But anyway, so she gets reincarnated into a new universe, and in this new universe, she's like, I worked way too hard in my last life. I'm taking it easy this time. And so she takes up the job of only killing slimes and her low-level creatures. Well, the problem is that she lives for a long time in this world, and eventually she gets to a point where she's been killing slimes for 300 years, and now she's the strongest person over the course of those 300 years. And now people are starting to like want things from her because she's so powerful.
I think the voice actress that is the main character slays it, by the way. She has so much like spirit and delivers everything with so much humor and punch that I love it. It's cute, it's funny, it's lighthearted, but at the same time it shoots itself to the top. And this one is just one of those ones I didn't expect to really care for. I kind of saw the title at first. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Everything's a slime now. And then and I actually like it a lot. I saw this episode. It's hilarious. They break down the math of like what every slime is worth experience-wise and how it scales. And I'm just like watching this thing, and she's just like, can you not talk? Like, apparently people find out about her, and she's like, just don't tell people about me, please. And all of a sudden, people just show up every day trying to like challenge her. So watch this. The show this is kind of one of the ones that definitely was not on my radar. This is one of the ones I also kind of wrote off at the beginning of the season, because the poster kind of looks like it'd just be this weird. Is it like a fan servicey slime thing, or is it just an isekai retread, or it looks like it could be a carbon copy of a good amount of animes. But the first episode, the main character solidifies himself as a real contender for just a lovable character, right? Like, she's just funny. She's like flat out funny, and I love everything about this. It's very well written.
Yeah, I saw the setup, like the idea that she is an overworked person in real life, and so in her new life she's like, I'm never doing that, but then ends up being the strongest person in her new world. Like, the setup is already just hilarious, and I don't know, I'm so about this show. I think it's gonna be amazing, and definitely one that I will be watching this season.
this season I feel like has a few sleepers. So like, why don't we keep going here? Because there's definitely some sleepers I'd like to talk about.
Yeah. Zombieland Saga gets its second season. I loved the first season, so I was really excited about the second season. It's idols. Somehow I got suckered into an idol show. I swore off idols from anime because I feel like it's a slippery slope. You watch one idol anime, you watch them all, and then suddenly you like download the gacha game, and suddenly you're down thousands of dollars, and then you're on the street doing heroin for more, roles for your gacha game, and
while doing their dance moves,
while also attempting to learn their dance moves, and you buy the light sticks and all that stuff. Like, yeah, it's a slippery slope, but somehow you add in the flavor of zombie girls. And suddenly I'm in, and the first season had some amazing moments, so this is one that I was excited about. So yeah, quick blurb about that one.
Never caught first season. I pretty much haven't touched an idol anime since Love Live.
See, I refuse to get into it because if you fall off, you're a survivor, Crim. You're a survivor. You survived the idol anime.
I kind of did, but like, let's be honest here. The music, though, I don't think I stopped the music. I did download the game on my phone.
Oh God, how many $1,000? What's behind that green screen? Is it just like the corner of Third Avenue? Like, what is this?
No, don't look. It's all Love Live. Well, I mean, you'll never know. So, like, legit though, this I heard I would like this since I loved Love Live, but. It is a slippery slope, and I will say that. Let's just go with that. It is a slippery slope.
Suddenly a little worried for Crim, but we'll ignore it for now.
Who's to say I'm not playing Love Live right now on my phone?
Just one more roll. Just one more roll. I'll get the S card, I swear.
These gacha games, man, they're the downfall. But Zombieland Saga seems like it can be fun, and I kind of want to try it, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
There's no gacha game, I don't think yet, so there's that safety net.
Keyword is yet, and then once they do,
you're done. You're done.
That's all you need.
Okay, this next show I have some thoughts about. It's called Eden Zero.
You mean
but
One
it's
Piece?
Actually called Fairy Tail 2.
Are you Fairy Tail? Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the preview for this, but they literally have the exact same character models as Fairy Tail. It is exactly the same. You
Lucy,
have
Happy.
Yep.
Natsu's hair just went black.
Yep.
Literally, Erza is right there.
Yep. They are literally the same character models. And what's funny is that Happy's actually in the show. His name is actually literally Happy in this. But they called it Eden Zero. I don't know. Like, is everybody just, is this like a social experiment? Like, what if we just re-released Fairy Tail but called it something else? And instead of fairies and dragons and stuff, it's space, I guess, and I don't know. I'm not watching this out of principle because this feels like the dirtiest money grab ever.
This feels like part of the writing team was like, we don't want the series to end. We want more money. We want to get more out of it. So we're going to, and like, cause think about it, the toy line, you wouldn't be able to tell if this is just like one of those variants of like an Erza figurine or a Lucy figurine. You know what I mean? Like, because there's always those like figures like, oh wait, I don't remember there being a basketball episode, right? But like they still make a basketball Lucy, right, or something like that. That doesn't actually exist, but you know what I mean.
Okay, so big question though: if I go to the store and I want a Happy figure, how do I know if it's the Happy figure from Eden Zero or the Happy figure from Fairy Tail? How will I ever know?
You're going to have to deal with these internal dilemmas because it's literally Happy. So I've just read the casting and it is actually Happy. Like it's not named anything. It's Happy.
So yeah, I don't know. I have some ethical questions about this. It feels, I just realized that they just took Blizzard's model, which is you just re-release old things that were popular and then you reskin them and sell it like it's due. Yeah, World of Warcraft Cataclysm. Yeah, I don't know. We'll re-release it and make you pay for it. Great, awesome.
But this is like, they didn't even reskin it. They just copy and pasted.
Changed the color. They took the RGB meter on Natsu's hair and went, okay, what if we just maxed out the RGB?
Didn't have RGB. like the character, the scarlet-haired character. The name is Crimson Elzy.
Crimson. Crimson Scarlet did it. It's like an inside joke. That's like what this feels like. I don't know.
Elzy Crimson Erza Scarlet.
Yeah, they didn't even stretch the naming budget on this one.
Why didn't they just call the main character Natsu but spelled N-O-T? Right? Like,
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this. This is trash. There's no
just
way.
out of principle, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, like I feel disrespected. As someone who enjoyed Fairy Tail, I feel like this is just disrespectful.
Yeah. The necromancy. This next one is also interesting. Nomad Megalo Box 2. So this is the sequel to Megalo Box. I hated season 1, but so far I like season 2. So
Wait, how? Well, I mean, we're not like example. I'm more so curious. What did season 2 do that made it so that it was more enjoyable than season 1 for you?
okay, so I guess before we super delve into it right now,
Yeah.
Megalo Box is a boxing anime. It's like futuristic boxing. They've got these like cool little
Like
thingies.
arms, like it's called gear.
Gears,
right?
yeah.
Like it's called gear. And the main thing about the main character is his name is Gearless Joe.
Yeah.
Because he's known for not using gear.
Yep.
So that's the general gist of it, and you watch him as he goes on his boxing tournaments, adventures, and kind of just creates his legend.
Yep.
So
And
season 2, right? This is where it kind of just follows up with that, and you kind of just wonder, well, the way season 1 ended, you don't without at this point, you know what season 2 is, so you know what season 1 is. There was no clear winner at the end of season 1, so you kind of just find out what Joe's been up to. And he's reeling. He's going through something right now. He's heavily under sedated, under drugs, all this stuff. He's lost a step, it seems. It's almost like he's trying to he's like kind of boxing. An A-list legendary boxer is boxing at like D-League.
yeah.
Like almost like children's league, like Pop Warner or something like that. So
Can you imagine that? Like some ex-NFL star, Tom Brady is like, yeah, I'm hanging up the gloves, but you know what? I got to beat up on these kids in Pop Warner.
I'm just dunking on these middle schoolers right now. Check this out, right?
There's this old SNL skit with, oh my God, Peyton Manning. And he's playing with a bunch of kids, and he's just like hurling footballs at them, and
bullets?
be like, "Why did you catch that?" It was really funny. I love that skit.
That's exactly how this kind of that's where Joe is right now.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. So
Without going into too much, that's where Joe is.
The other thing I want to mention about Megalo Box, which I think was one of the reasons why it stood out in the first place, even from season 1, is the style and the soundtrack for the show is god tier. Like the aesthetic is very much in the same lines of kind of like the Cowboy Bebop-esque era
Samurai
of anime.
Champloo, I think, is perfect, right?
Yeah.
Because you think about the hip hop fusion, right? And all of that, and the art style. It is so much to me just Samurai Champloo, but with boxing.
Yeah, and it just the aesthetics are beautiful. Season 1 ended for me like I just got blue balled harder than anything else in my entire life. It just hurt. I was like, they set up so much hype around this final fight between Joe and the Russian guy. I forgot his name.
The gray haired dude.
Yeah, and they set up so much hype, and then it just ends in such for me, a really unsatisfying way. And there were some other good episodes that I enjoyed, but really the main character and the cast around him were not very interesting to me. What I like about season 2 already, though, is that Joe, he's down in the dumps, and it's kind of it seems like he's trying to figure out what to do with his life from now on, and it gives his character a little more depth than I think season 1 had. And very quickly, the characters that are around him are really interesting. I guess we'll get into it next week when we do our official first impressions after watching it. But I already like how they've set up Joe to kind of be a foil to the people around him. He's lost his way, but the people around him have not. And so seeing that dichotomy is interesting to me. So that's why I like.
He kind of goes from being the unstoppable object, right? The unstoppable thing, and then now he's just grinded down to his lowest form, right?
Yeah.
And it is interesting to see this part of how he climbs back. And I think that's the only way you could make a season 2, if I'm being honest with you. So makes sense.
Because season 1 ends with him being basically the best. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you become the bester? I guess you do the Dragon Ball Z
bester.
thing, add in aliens, and they're really strong, and then
He has to box in a space league.
yeah, something like that, and then continually have to box to save his own universe. Something like that. I don't know.
I mean, this so far though, season 2 is really good, so I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it.
Okay, this next anime is again questionable anime. This one is the English name for it is called "It's Too Sick to Call This Love," Koikimo. But basically, it's another setup where a businessman meets a high school girl.
Have we heard this one? Literally, maybe like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, the literal synopsis on my anime list. This is a romantic comedy about a twisted elite employee and a normal otaku high school girl. Japan, why? Why? Does this not seem like in bad taste to you at all? Like,
Speaking of reskins,
yeah, like at least the other one, I can see how it's like not a direct love relationship between the high school girl and the businessman. This one, it's like literally that. And
they just removed the stop, right?
I have questions, Japan. I have questions. Why are we doing this? And the fact that it's like a normal otaku high school girl, it's just dirty weeb bait. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how about we create this girl who's like super into nerdy things because the people who are going to watch this are going to be like, yeah, I want a nerdy girlfriend just like me. I don't know.
Damn, Zell, you don't have to call me out, dude.
I'm sorry. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, my girlfriend's nerdy,
Zell.
but like, anyways. Whatever, man. I'm at the very least, I'm not an twisted elite employee, and my girlfriend's not a high school girl. So, like, I'm not Matt Getz. So, like, okay.
Boom, dunk, like it.
Okay, boom, next. Pass.
And that's all we need to say about that, because there's nothing that we would have to say about this that we didn't already say about the other anime, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This one just removes the biggest fear that we had, and it just puts them together. So, yeah, no, this is not going to work for me. So, but the next one, now this one I am here for. I loved season 1, and I feel like the way Zell's responding to me, I'm going to get some flack for this because I can see his eye kind of like twitching at me. Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-Kun second season. Yes, I loved first season. It was hilarious. Why are you giving me that look?
I just hard passed on this because it looked dumb to me. But convince me. Like, it just convinced me.
Okay.
Why would I be excited to watch season 2 and so excited that I would watch season 1 to catch up?
Because, all right, here's the premise. All right, season 1, there's like 8 episodes of like just like lull time. I don't think it needed to be 23 episodes. I won't say season 1 is perfect. I think it could have been like maybe a 12, 15 episode season and we'd have all the laughs we needed. But this show is about a dude that who literally his parents don't love him. And they sell him off. I know I'm like chuckling as I say this. It's a little bit more, but like, like
child slavery.
Yeah, whoa, yeah. And like they essentially sell him to the underworld, his soul to the underworld, because he was just not good at anything, right? And so his grandpa Sullivan is this hilariously, very like dapper and like fancy and like grandpa, but he's also like this crazy high like tier demon in the hierarchy, right? And so he goes to what is essentially high school or whatever, but in hell. And the best part is the one thing is he gets granted special powers by his grandpa where it's like he could never fall or something like that, right? He's just not allowed to fall. And in doing that, he gets in a suplex match with the big buff demon, he's this pink-haired like pretty boy who becomes his best friend, and crazy long story. He's just this hilariously average dude that where every situation around him just hilariously comes together. He accidentally tames his teacher in his companion class because his teacher is like this super like strict and scary looking dude, and the reason why is because I think your companion is equal to your demon energy. So you will summon a companion equal to your demon energy or something along those lines. But since he doesn't have anything, he just literally summons his teacher. And so his teacher has to become his companion. And like, it's just like, he's like actually pissed about it. And so it's just a bunch of dumb things. And it's not like a deep story. It's just fun.
Gotcha.
It's just solid fun.
Dope. Yeah, I don't know. I'm almost sold.
It's you'll like it. Just imagine the Toto from like Jujutsu Kaisen's like plus Yuji interaction, but everybody around you, like everyone is just Toto, and the main character is Yuji.
Gotcha.
They're all in love with him, and they think he's hilarious, and it's just, or they think he's like this god tier demon, but he's not. He's just a human.
He's just an average dude. No, I like the concept. Actually, that's better than I thought it would have been.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So I've been waiting for this. I hope they do a better job with season 2, because season 1 had that really, really long, like 9 episode streak of just nothing important happened. Nothing was funny. It was really boring. But it was 23 episodes.
Yeah, it's not super, super long.
Yeah, so recommended it if you love the first. If the first season sounds funny to you, then you're looking at something lighthearted. This is perfect.
This next anime is the second season of Moriarty the Patriot, which is a pretty dark horse anime, actually, because basically for the people who have watched this have told me that it's actually way better than anybody really thought. I don't remember when it first originally aired, but I think it was in a season where I was watching too many other things. But I heard it's actually good, and it's animated by Production IG, who generally does like pretty quality stuff. So I don't know. Again, someone has to kind of like tell me why it's fun to watch, but I've heard good things about the show in general, and this is its second season. There's not much more I can actually add to that.
This just like, it visually looks pleasing, but I already know I'm gonna be let down. I want Hellsing. I'm gonna watch this. I want Hellsing. I know it's not that. So, but like this, I try to watch a little bit of like the first season before I started this, and I also was bored pretty quick. So
gotcha. Okay, well, so maybe some people are excited about it.
Yeah.
This next one, we've watched a couple of the first few episodes, and this one is like the dark horse for me. I had no expectation going into this, but holy hot damn, this is a banger. Vivy, Flourite Eyes song, animated by Wit Studio,
yes,
has been amazing. It's basically it's a futuristic sci-fi thing where this AI who is designed to only be basically an idol, and she's bad at it, like no one goes to watch her thing, gets visited by a teddy bear, essentially from the future, who says that she is the key to preventing the apocalypse that is waiting to happen. And the show, one, the art style is tremendously beautiful, and then two is it's just been, at least the first couple of episodes have just been pure fun, and like it's been, I don't know, it's just been really fun. Like this is one of the anime that I didn't expect to be as hype as it is, and now it's probably the ones that I am looking forward to the most out of the season.
This is definitely my pick of the season so far. Also, just because of that exact reason, and like there's some vibes here of a little bit of Violet Evergarden, and like you just kind of see where from the episodes that we've seen. I think there's only 3 at the point of us filming this, where you can just kind of try to see where she's learning to feel emotions, to like understand, just like feel, right, to become somewhat human, and like her adventures along the way and how she solves things. So like this is just really good, and I couldn't explain it anymore other than to tell you that just watch it. When you read the initial opening like synopsis, it just seems like, so is this going to be like a Caroline and Tuesday thing or something? No, this has got action, and I love Caroline and Tuesday, by the way. I think that is an amazing anime, but this show, beautifully animated. Just lots and lots and lots of things to like about this show. The little robot teddy bear thing that follows her around. He's annoying, but he's funny, and like I get down with that. But Vivy, this is the one that also was not even on my radar. It just showed up on my Funimation like suggested feed. I watched it, and I'm like, okay, well, all right, this synopsis seems kind of whack, but I'll watch it. And it's good. It's so good. So this is the one for me for this season. Like of the new shows, not returning shows, this has got to be the one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either this or it's like, as I had mentioned earlier, like To Your Eternity. These two are the ones that hit. And I feel like with the way Vivy's set up, I think I'm expecting something a lot more sad towards the end.
Interesting. Yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't want to spoil too much. We'll get into it next week when we kind of delve into the plot points a little bit. But yeah, this one is one of the ones that I'm most excited about. And I'm looking at the My Anime List chart. It is pretty far down there in terms of popularity, but this one really deserves to be much higher than that, in my opinion.
I feel like they should be in the third row. It's like almost criminal that it's not higher.
Yeah, and so we're in this phase where like we're into the shows that I think are a little less popular. Are there ones that you want to mention? The other big one that we haven't mentioned yet is Goku. What is it called? Goku Shifudo.
Life. Yep. The way of the house husband.
Right. Exactly. We were in sync there, I don't think the editor would have had to sync us there.
Yeah, we did that one quite nicely. So I think I'm going to have a hot opinion on this, like a hot take.
Yeah, what's that? Okay, hit us with the hot take.
I liked it.
What a hot take! God damn! All right, podcast is over.
Right, like I'm gonna
it.
mic drop. I liked it though, and I know as simple as that sounds, there's a lot of negativity around it right now because of the animation style. And so
the lack of,
or yeah. I call it animation style because it's meant to be this way. Like I said, I know I had my tinfoil hat on with Spider and whatnot with its monsters, but this one is actually meant to be this way because of the the gimmicks that they do in the manga and whatnot. So this is what I read about and all of that, and it's meant to be this like stop motion. Almost looks like you're watching a GIF. And
yeah,
I'm okay with that so far because the humor is great. I think it's hilarious. I love when there is animation, the faces are very well drawn and like intense. And I love how they position it. It just feels like I'm watching like Beautiful Joe if you played that game.
Gotcha.
So I'm a fan of this show, and I think it's getting harped on it's getting like dunked on pretty hard for its anime. And granted that if this is the intended style of animation, why animate it at all and just not leave it in its source material form? So I can understand that argument, but for what it is and for not reading the manga and just being an anime guy, I thought it was funny. I can appreciate the art that they're going for. Thankfully, it's not Berserk or Ijin or something like that. So, like this is good. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, what's funny about this show is that I had one of my like more normie friends come and say like, "Oh, I love this show. The Way of the House. I've watched a couple of the episodes. I love it." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's interesting." So I haven't watched it yet. And it makes me wonder, are anime fans right now being overly petty and overly like dunking on this show? Basically, am I calling, are anime fans whiny crybabies? Crim, is that?
I feel like a little bit of like dogpiling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've definitely seen actually a lot of whining and crying over it, like being a part of the anime community. So.
Well, the answer to my question was for sure yes, but in this case, like probably yes.
yeah, for sure yes for the first question, and for sure yes on this too. I think this is just dogpiling. I think that the people are making fun of it just to make fun of it, right? And I think that that's giving it a bad rap. But like, I think it's good. I think it's funny. I think it's got charm. It's got this charm to it that where it just, once again, the art style is meant to be that way. And if you don't like that art style, then I guess that makes sense. But like, I don't like Ruby, and that apparently is good. So,
yeah. So I think the big thing that happened with the show was that people really loved the source material, and so I think people were really excited about it. And so when they heard anime adaptation, they probably were imagining like, traditional animation, and suddenly it wasn't what people imagined. And then that's where people got super upset. And I can empathize with that for sure. But in the end, like, is it still good? That's the question that these people have to kind of ask themselves is like, sure, it's not what you thought it was, but was it still good? And it happens sometimes in anime. I think of actually like Konosuba season 1 to season 2, the animation style looks very different, and it might have bugged some people, but like in the end, it's still the same thing. And like another example of this is One Punch Man, season 1 versus season 2. People really hated season 2 because the animation didn't hold up to season 1. But in my opinion, like the writing was still basically the same sort of gags. It just wasn't as hype as before because it wasn't the quality that people wanted it to be. So, yeah. So yeah, that's the overview for a lot of the ones that people were talking. There's a couple of ones that I want to quickly mention. If there's any that you want to mention too.
Yeah. Like one of the ones that I think is definitely worth a look at is so it's American translation, English translation is The Saint's magic power is omnipotent. I think this one is an interesting one. It's something that I want to watch and see what it's all about. I haven't gotten a chance to see yet, but I watched the trailer and it looked kind of interesting. So I just need to go and finish and hash it out, and then we'll probably get into it a little more, into the meat of it next episode.
What is the Japanese name on this? I want to take a look at it.
Seijo. Oh God!
No,
please edit this part.
Okay,
out.
I got
please
you already.
Please edit this part out. I'm gonna butcher this. Oh boy.
Okay, great. So the other ones that I kind of wanted to quickly mention, which I thought were interesting, SSSS Gridman, which is a Trigger anime, got another offshoot. I don't know if it's a direct sequel, but it's called Dynazenon. I think Dynazenon. I don't know how to pronounce it. Diazenon sounds like a drug, over-the-counter drug that you take for allergies or something. I don't know. But anyways,
we'll go with that.
People really like the original, mainly because they like that one girl's thighs. I forgot her name, Rika. I feel like that was like the meme when that show was airing. It was just like, yeah, they just love to give her some thick thighs, and that's why we watch. And I was like, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know if so. I didn't watch the first episode.
Thick thighs save lives or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if they've got similarly thick thighs in Dynazenon, but apparently the show is basically like Power Rangers for adults. So if that sounds like your jam, there's that. One of the shows that I'll be watching this season is Shadow's House, and it's animated by Cloverworks, and it's just like this really creepy thing. You follow basically a living doll who is born into this mansion that's led by these faceless shadow nobles, and basically these shadow nobles leave soot behind everywhere, and when they're emotional, and it's got this. When you watch the first episode, it's like super cheerful and stuff, but you can tell there's some really weird, messed up things happening in the background, and it feels like one of those shows that's like trying to debate you into thinking like, oh, it's gonna be kinder than it actually is. But yeah. So Shadow's House is one that I'm going to look forward to, and then I'm just going to quickly run through some anime here that people have mentioned to me. The World Ends With You, very popular video game. They made an animation of it. I don't know. Sometimes these anime adaptations are not very good, and I've been hearing that this first episode didn't seem like it would be that good. But anyways, that for people who like the game, there's that. There's a Cute Girls Do Cute Things, but with motorbikes, called Super Cub. So if you like Cute Girls Do Cute Things, the anime, here's Super Cub, and it's girls who discover the joy of riding scooters, essentially. And then the last one I want to mention is Bishounen Tanteidan, which is animated by Shaft, and this one is noteworthy mainly because the writer of the show is the same writer as Monogatari, Nisio-san. But as far as I can tell, it just looks like a show for people who really like male idols. So I don't know. I don't really know that it was mentioned to me because I like Monogatari, but like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, none of these other ones have seemed too interesting to me so far at the bottom. Like the one that you had mentioned, Shadow's House, looks like it could be kind of interesting, and I like the premise of it, so I'm probably going to check that out too.
Yeah. Oh, the other last one is another Cute Girls Do Cute Things thing called Yakunara Mug Cup Mo, and it's cute girls who learn how to do pottery. And I don't know, it's like I'm a sucker for Cute Girls Do Cute Things, like that style of anime. Like I love Yuru Camp, I love K-On! So I don't know if these will be good, and I probably wouldn't. I'm not gonna keep my tab on it, but it's worth mentioning.
I did watch the episode. It's called Let's Make a Mug 2, the English translation. I don't
Gotcha.
even try the Japanese translation because I'm going to butcher it. So I did watch it. It's very cutesy. I feel like this show, by the way, if you're into that kind of stuff, like the K-On! Stuff, this is one that's like not as well written.
Ooh.
And one that I think you really need to like, you can watch it only in small doses.
Gotcha.
Like dosages. Like it's like, okay, all right. I think I've had enough for this episode. No, it's not awful. Like I was just like, okay, all right, I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more story. Come on, do something. Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
Poke it.
yeah, do something else. Okay, cool.
So yeah, I think that's kind of our overview of this season. Let us know in the comments what anime you guys are excited about. But I think the next part that we're gonna do is talk about which ones are we actually watching. You want to go first and talk about your list?
Yeah. So like ones that like I've got on my list at least are currently Megalo Box Nomad, right? So My Hero Season 5. Way of the Househusband, which I think is right now only up to 5 episodes on Netflix. I don't know if we're going to get more. And Tokyo Revengers, 8-6, Slime 300, Fruits Basket, Welcome to Demon School Iruma, which I hope airs by the time the next episode we film, To Your Eternity, Vivy, and I'm going to watch Nagatoro. And I'm going to see what it's all about. Like, I mean, it's one that I will watch just because, I want to see, like, what is it? Like, is it really purplenurple.anime? So we're gonna find out. Other than that, those are the mains for me.
Crim just really wants to see if he likes getting his nipples twisted.
Maybe I'll find something about myself along the way as I watch this. This is a soul searching journey. Okay, in 20 minutes. And I feel like, Wazelle, like we should just make a bet, something that makes you watch Eden Zero.
Oh my God. Dude, I don't want to do these bets anymore. I was forced to watch all of Exarm, and that has been a journey in and of itself.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As a friend, I shouldn't have let you do that. But at the same time, it's pretty funny that you watch that because it's pretty bad.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'll do a YouTube video about my review of that show.
Yeah. Woo! That'll be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I'm sure people have differing opinions.
I'll definitely convince you to keep not watching it. So, for my watch list, I've got My Hero Academia, To Your Eternity, Zombieland Saga, this Slime 300, Shadow's House, Vivy, Fruits Basket if I can catch up to it, Megalo Box, Househusband, Tokyo Revengers, and maybe Nagatoro, and maybe Slime Slice of Life, and maybe 86. Those ones feel like maybe I'll drop. We'll see, because I always start off with my list being really, really big, and then they'll just kind of naturally, like, I'll just stop wanting to watch it. So
by next episode, I think a good amount of the shows will have at least 2 to like maybe 3 episodes out, so you kind of get a better feel for everything. So I'm excited to see how the season progresses, and then we'll go a little more in detail on like the plot points and all that too next week.
Yeah. But yeah, that is our like spring season 2021 in a nutshell. Any final thoughts?
I didn't think I'd have this many animes to watch. I thought that I actually had only like 5 animes, and then I realized I'm actually watching a ton of animes. I even forgot certain trash ones like How Not to Summon a Demon Lord and stuff like that. So the thing here is there's a lot this season, and I just wasn't prepared for it. I think the thing that's really made me pleased here is so far the ones that were not on my list originally have impressed me the most. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited.
Like you, when I was reading off my watch list, I was like, wait a second. I didn't think I was watching this many. And then I look at my list now and I'm like, wait, there's so many on here. Of course, some of these I think are a little soft, and I think like there's a good chance I'll drop it. But like, I think because the season I think people kind of see as being weaker than last season, it's one of those things where I'm going to be pleasantly surprised, because Vivy was one of those shows that I think came out of nowhere for me, and I think it's really good so far. And like, some of these other shows too that I didn't really have much expectations for might actually be really great, like Tokyo Revengers. So we'll see how the season will shape up by next week when we do our next episode, where we will dive a little deeper into like our first impressions of each of the shows. But yeah, That's kind of it, man.
All right. And so I guess, yeah, like, thank you so much. Like, seriously, like, for everyone tuning in for our second episode. We're already doing 2.
Yeah.
And things are only going to start ramping up as we start moving forward with more episodes. As always, that we're going to probably be doing, an episode a week at least. So, do the thing. The call to action thing, click on the ding ding bell and then,
Click on the ding dinger.
Ding bell, yeah.
Subscribe to our channel. Go to our subreddit. Subscribe to that too.
And I'll do all of the social media stuff. And thank you, Don, for seriously helping us edit this.
Thank you, Don, so much. You're a lifesaver.
Seriously. Lifesaver. Thank you. Other than that, I think we will see you at the next episode. So thanks, everyone.
Yep.
Peace.
Thanks for watching. And we're the Nii-San Podcast.